Tonight, we are going over our predictions for AEW. See how we did, and maybe even talking about a little bit about the PWI 500 top 500 insider, at least the top 10, and a couple other things. Welcome to the Wrestling Council, folks. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. I'm your host, Comic Book Bob. Flying solo this week, my good friend Hollywood Frank is working overtime. Appreciate you that. You can catch us here usually every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, talking about all the news in wrestling. You can also follow us on social media, scroll below. And some good stuff this week. Some interesting things going on, guys. Appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, I am flying solo tonight. Yeah, I swear I can talk. I am flying solo tonight, so I will try to do my best to entertain. Real quick, Big Daddy, the Guardian of Chaos, who actually did a video, guys. If you haven't, like I said, Big Daddy's linked in the description, and he talked about the PWI top 500 insider, at least the top 10. Good stuff. Go over there and check them out. As always, Big Daddy, I hope you're feeling better, man. I know you've been fighting off a bug. Appreciate you, sir. But hey, yo, Big Daddy.
Hey, yo.
Go check out the original learning tree. And Malacito, I had a little bit of a issue there, Malacito. My microphone didn't want to work, but hello, Bob. You were spot on with Joe, dude. I'm telling you, man. I had a feeling. And it's Joe's my guy, and I honestly feel like Paige's current run just wasn't all that. You know, nothing, no disrespect to Hangman Adam Page. I like Hangman Adam Page. I just wasn't feeling it. I do think that Joe is a bit of a transitional champion. But even so, you know, the guy's awesome. And I love the fact that he's the world champion. But we'll talk more about that in a minute. But the leg kick was here. Malacito said, "What's up, Chaos? What's up, Malacito? Appreciate you being here, brother."
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Hello.
What's up?
What's up? Be careful going home, Malacito. I know you're probably driving home. But appreciate you, man. Did everybody watch? Did you guys watch Full Gear? I know Big Daddy did. And again, he was doing reactions to it. Awesome. I caught it. It was a pretty good show. It wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. There were some good things, good things, bad things. We'll talk about that. But it was an interesting show to say the least. And I said we're just going to wait a few more minutes here. Let some more people roll in here. It's a weird night tonight. I know that there's probably more than a few people that are not going to be they're going to be doing other things, which that's fine. You know, people got stuff to do, got lives to live, man. But as far as the show itself, it was a good show. It was definitely it was a pretty good show. The AEW usually does put on good pay-per-views. There were a couple things. It was I definitely enjoyed it more than I enjoyed Blood and Guts. Blood and Guts just isn't my It's not my cup of tea, man. Especially the women's blood and guts. That was not for me. But like I said, last night was a good show. I am looking forward to War Games. I got some thoughts on that. Don't worry, stuck in traffic. Google Maps said I'd be home by now. They lied. Be careful, man. But anyway, before we get to that, though, as usual, we will continue on. We will get into our favorite segment, a little something we call the good, the bad, and the ugly. We go over what we thought was good, bad, and ugly in wrestling world this week. So it's just me. So go ahead and in the chat there, guys. Post what you guys thought was your good, your bad, and your ugly this week. I'll start off mine, and we already talked about part of it, man. Part of my good, Samoa Joe wins the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Like I said, nothing against Hangman Adam Page. I liked the storyline with him going in against it was him and Swerve and Ospreay were kind of beating each other up, going back and forth. I just did not feel like this particular run was all that great. And I know that Joe is going to be hanging it up soon. And I really felt like, that's a guy that lends legitimacy to your belt. Now, if it were me, I would use him to build up one of the young up-and-coming guys, which we'll talk about that again in a little bit. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens for him. But I was really happy about that. Swerve Strickland made his return. That was good, too. He's, regardless of where you think he measures, he is very popular. He is one of the top guys in AEW right now. A lot of that I think has to do with his relationship with Will Ospreay, but he's a great performer, and it was good to have him back. And something a little on the other side of the pond, the Lucha Brothers finally reunited in AAA. Like I've said this before, and I'll say it again, I don't feel like WWE is doing the Lucha Brothers any favors. I don't feel like they've been booked particularly well. I don't know why you take one of the top tag teams in the entire world and you split them up instead of using them to elevate your tag team division, which sorely needs it. So, but that's my good. They're going to be taking on Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano, whichever version it is. I believe it's on December 20th. I'm going to butcher the living crap out of the name of this show. Guerrera de Titanes. I'm sorry. You guys know how bad I am with names and pronouncing anything. I have a hard enough time speaking English. But it is what it is. So that's my good. Magazine said the good, Joe Champ, the bad, Penta's shoulder. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. And the funny, Lesnar busting his ass in his entrance. Yeah, I mean, there's people up and down saying that, oh, that was planned. I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you make your champion look like an idiot? But it is what it is. Anywho, my bad this week. My bad. Penta, obviously in that match that he had with Solo Sikoa, it's Penta injured his shoulder. My understanding is it was a dislocated shoulder. I don't think anything else has come out about how particularly bad it was. Hopefully it's not serious and he can make a quick return. But he's probably going to be out at least a couple of weeks. And we just hope, wish him a speedy recovery because I love the dude. I think he's awesome. I do hope that He's still scheduled for that tag match on December 20th. So hopefully he's good. Bob just hurt my soul trying to pull those hurts off. I'm sorry, man. I've said it before. I'll say it again, man. I'm the epitome of a bad American. I have a hard enough time pronouncing English. Another country, man, another language. Forget it. I mean, look how bad I am. As much as I love New Japan, look how bad I am at pronouncing Japanese names. It's a sickness. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Oh my God, it is what it is, brother. Appreciate you though, man. And you're always here to correct me, so that's a good thing. Yeah, let me pull this over here real quick. I've got multiple streams pulled up here. Again, like I said, we are streaming on X. We are streaming on YouTube, X, and Facebook. So whichever one you prefer, go ahead and make sure you guys hit a like, share it out to your social media, help us grow this thing. And so let's get to my bad. I'm moving this around. So they announced, obviously, after AEW Full Gear, they announced the participants for the 2025 Continental Classic, and it's weak sauce. It is the most predictable lineup you would ever see. I already know exactly who's going to win both leagues, and Tony Khan is completely missing the idea of what a tournament like this is supposed to be. This is supposed to be, for people who don't know, the Continental Classic, the C2, is meant to be AEW's version of New Japan's G1, which New Japan's G1 is still, in my opinion, the best professional wrestling tournament that there is. I would put the G1 at number one. I would put until the last couple of years, World Tag League would be number two. And then number three, I would put the Ring of Honor Pure tournament. Those are my favorite tournaments in professional wrestling. The C2, the first year, it was good. Second year was okay. It's been very pedestrian since then. And he's completely missed the point of why this thing exists. This is the time when you take people that you don't normally see on television and you start mixing pieces in there. That's how you find new talent. That's how you elevate new talent. That's how people get you become unpredictable. And that's the whole idea behind a tournament like this. That's why the G1 is so great. There are times in the G1 where somebody, like they are a top star and they will lose to somebody that you'd be like, what? That's what a tournament like this is for. And nobody that's in this tournament is a surprise. So just to go over it real quick, in the Blue League, you've got Konosuke Takeshita, John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Mascara Dorado. Dorado's the only one in here that I'm like, okay, that's not somebody I would expect. Everybody else, this is the same group of people that's in everything. The Gold League, Darby Allin, Pac, Kevin Knight, Speedball Mike Bailey, Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Okada. Same people that's in everything. The same people that's on every match. The same people that's like. This is the time you use. This is what you use to elevate people. This is what you use to put people out there to get some heat behind them to build people up. Like I'm looking at this and I'm like, automatically, where's Juice Robinson? Juice Robinson, literally in the men's division, next to Mark Briscoe, best character worker in the entire company. Juice Robinson is awesome. Love that guy. Ace Austin, he's a new guy, part of the Bang Bang Gang, the Bullet Club Gold. Why isn't he in this? There's another surprise here. Shelton Benjamin, a dude that I think has been woefully underutilized for years, for his entire career. Where's he at? Guys like, Roosh. Where's Roosh? Where's Jay Lethal, another guy that I think is woefully underutilized. Two guys that I feel are amazing technical wrestlers who could really change things up in this. Josh Alexander, who at least he's being used a little bit. He's not being used anywhere near his potential. Josh Woods. Josh Woods is one of the best technical wrestlers out there. Where's he at? And then here's another thing. And this is, once again, this is a serious issue that Tony Khan has. Tony Khan does not know how to book big men. There are no big men in this friggin' pay-per-view. I mean, in this tournament, not a single one. Where's Bill Morrissey? Where's Will Hobbs? Where's Brody King? Brody King, who is super over right now. Where's he at? Where's Bobby Lashley? Bobby Lashley's a big giant dude. The Hurt Syndicate's popular. Where's he at? This tournament is the most boring pedestrian version we have seen yet. And I hate this. I hate this. This is, and here's the thing. There's great wrestlers here, but looking at who's in Blue League and looking at who's in Gold League, I can tell you exactly who's going to win this. Blue League, the winner in Blue League is going to be Konosuke Takeshita, and the winner in Gold League is going to be Kazuchika Okada. And that's going to be the catalyst for the fallout match between Takeshita and Okada. There's nothing in this. There's nothing exciting in this. There's nothing, and there will be great matches in this because you've got some amazing talent in this in both of these leagues. It's a foregone conclusion. So it's just booked badly. But anyway, guys, that's my GBU. Appreciate that. Like I said, Frank unfortunately isn't here, so he won't be giving his GBU. He'll probably be posting it later when he has a chance to make an appearance and make a statement on this. But yeah, tell me, like, what do you guys like? You guys tell me, like, what do you think about this lineup for the C2? I think it's weak. I think it's incredibly weak, and I'm very disappointed in it. But it is what it is. Okay, so last week we did our predictions for AEW Full Gear. AEW Full Gear just happened over the weekend. We do know one of them the results. AEW World Championship, Hangman Adam Page dropping the strap to Samoa Joe, something that I predicted. Frank predicted Hangman Adam Page, which the smart money said that. When I said this last week, I was going way out on a limb here. It was just something I felt. I felt like that this was something that was going to happen, that this was something that was going to, it just felt like it's something that needed to happen. Because again, I just feel like Page's his current run has just not been great. And a part of that, I think, is there was a lot of injuries, but also that they just haven't built anybody up to be the big bad. And in comes Samoa Joe, which admittedly, I just pulled my friggin' mic out of the stand. Joe has admittedly, there has not been a lot of buildup for that match between them. We knew it was going to be good because of the people who were involved in it. Hangman Adam Page is a good wrestler. I do think he's a little bit, personally, I think he is a little bit overrated, but I get it. Joe's awesome. Joe's been awesome since day one. And I want, that guy to get his flowers on the way out because he has said that he's about ready. He's not long from hanging it up. But that's what I just felt about that one. So that's a score one for me. Give me 1 second here. You have, see here, Frank and Bob. I got one. All right. So then next up, we had, let's go all the way back to the very beginning. Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall versus Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta. Didn't care. It was on the pre-show. Max Caster and Anthony Bowens versus Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn versus Big Bill and Brian Keith versus the Outrunners in a $2,000 money match. I predicted that Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn would win this, but I thought we would get Jay White coming back. I have since learned that there was an update, and Jay White is not going to be back in 2025. They're hoping he'll be back about like midway between 2025 and 2026. Because that one thing I said was I thought that was one of the surprises we would get would be Jay White returning, but I did get the people who won right, which was Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn. Which, cool, whatever. Then next we had Pac versus Darby Allin. I predicted that Pac was going to win, I believe. And, actually it was, I said it should be Pac winning, but I think Frank and I both picked Darby Allin. So we both got that one wrong. I think we both agreed on Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn. So that's one for Frank. And that's another one for me. We both got Pac versus Darby Allin wrong, which I'm 1,000% behind that decision. I love Pac. I think he's been another guy that I feel like is woefully underutilized. And I'm just very, very happy that he got some recognition there. And it's very clear, like I said, it's very clear that the Death Riders are going to turn on Jon Moxley. I thought it was going to happen at the pay-per-view. It did not, but they definitely made it. They made it very clear that it's going to happen, because if you saw that promo that Moxley cut after his loss, the looks they were giving him were like, dude, we are so done with your shit. And if it were me, I would put Pac in charge. It's more than likely probably going to be Claudio Castagnoli, possibly Pac. It's going to be one of those two guys. I would like it to be Pac. I think it would also be cool is if Bryan Danielson came back and he became the J.J. Dillon of that group, and that guy and got his revenge on Moxley. I think that's a cool idea. We'll see what they do, but it's very clear that that's going to happen at some point. But we both got that one wrong. The $1 million money match, Young Bucks and Josh Alexander versus Jurassic Express and Kenny Omega. I got that one wrong. Frank said it would be Young Bucks and Josh Alexander. I said it would be Jurassic Express and Kenny Omega, because I also said that we were going to get a reunion of the Elite. I was right about that, but I was wrong about how the way it went. So Frank gets a point on that one. And I do not. So we are actually tied now. But good match. One of the best matches on the show. And but it didn't happen the way I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to be the Don Callis family was going to turn on the Bucks, and then Kenny would be the one that was going to run in and save them. But it was actually the other way around. But regardless, we did get a reunion of the Elite, which was a consolation prize for your boy. It was but Casino Gauntlet to crown the inaugural champion, national champion. There were no big surprises in this, and I said that barring any big surprises, the person who was going to win was going to be Ricochet. Now, personally, again, me, I would have given it to Shelton Benjamin because I think Shelton Benjamin is woefully underutilized. And I think even at his age, the dude he's still able to go and he looks awesome. So, hey, Frank, just going over top of our wins and losses. So far, we're tied because the Hangman Samoa Joe match, but and then we both just got a point because we both predicted that Ricochet would win. Hope you're doing okay, my brother. So that's a point for both of us. We're both at 3 now. Both at one loss and one, three correct and one wrong each. So we'll see where we go from there. Bloody ass paper. Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Well, it's AEW and it was a friggin' cage match. So, but then we had the TNT Championship. This is another one that we both got right. Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. I felt like they were going to put the belt on Mark because I feel like Mark is in a place where they want to kind of elevate him a little bit. Are they going to elevate him to the World Championship? Doubt it very seriously. But he's a guy that could be in your top mid card and really can help elevate people and stuff and elevate that title. So, but we both got that one right. So that's 4 that we got correct and 1 that we each got wrong. But this was a good match. Kyle Fletcher is another one of those guys. I was actually in I think it was Wrestling Observer was doing a stream. And I made a point, and I said that I felt like Kyle Fletcher, like right now, obviously they're going to build the immediate future around Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, MJF. I think Jay White's another one of those guys that should be in there. There's always going to be Moxley and everything, but I felt like there's certain guys that they should start building for the future. Takeshita's one of them. Hey, Big Daddy. Appreciate you, brother. Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher are definitely 2 of those people. And I feel like this frees up Kyle Fletcher to now be elevated up the card. Because I think that guy's he's got huge upside. And they really, honestly, if it were me, I would put Kyle Fletcher on the Randy Orton path. And just push the guy to the moon and make him the youngest AEW World Champion. Let's see what he's got, But we both got that one right. It was no DQ. This is another bloody match. Obviously, we got more storyline with the Callis family, with Okada and Takeshita in this one. But the AEW National Championship, obviously, Ricochet won that belt, being rewarded for his loyalty and whatnot. And to be fair, he is doing the best work that he's done in his career. I don't think he's a particularly strong promo. I do think that he needs a mouthpiece, but it is what it is. And we pretty much predicted that. Like you said, there were no surprises in that tournament. So in that gauntlet. AEW World Tag Team Championship, Brody King and Brodito versus FTR. I can't, and I do not have it written down here. Ospreay versus Fletcher for a world title would be a banger of a match. Yeah, that's why I said that they should put the belt on him. Let him at some point next year put the belt on Fletcher. And then you have Ospreay make his return. And you got to remember, there's a storyline with Ospreay in AEW in that he's seen as one of, if not the best wrestlers in AEW and tech in the world. That's the way he's seen. But for some reason, he just can't win the big one. So now you've got Kyle Fletcher, his student, the guy that he brought up, and he's now the world champion before Ospreay is. So you've got this built-in storyline there that you could really work and tweak. So I'm 100% behind that idea. But I do not remember. So I don't have anything down here. I think we both picked Brody King and Bandito to win this one, Frank, if I'm not mistaken. I know that I picked Brody King and Bandito because I said that I thought they were too popular, and I didn't think that. I thought that Jay White was going to come out here, and I thought that Adam Copeland and Christian Cage were going to come back and cost FTR the match. That did not happen. FTR won. They are the AEW Tag Team Champions again. Yeah, I think so. So this is another one that we both got wrong. FTR is your new champions. I'm assuming the reason why they're doing this is because they're going to push Brody King and Bandito in singles matches. I do like Bandito. I like Brody King. Again, I don't know why he's not involved in the C2. It's freaking stupid. But yeah, it was a good match. And I mean, everybody involved in the match were great. We're good. So great match. And be interesting to see where they go from. Mountain said, over an hour in traffic, drink 3 bottles of water. Please pray for me. Be careful, Mal. Dude, seriously, just be careful, brother. AEW Women's World Championship. Chris Statlander versus Mercedes Moné. I thought I was 100% that Mercedes Moné was going to win this. And I think, Frank, if I'm not mistaken, this is another one that I didn't have marked down for some reason. I thought, and the reason why I don't have it marked down is because I think we both thought that Mercedes Moné was going to win. I didn't want her to, and I'm glad she didn't. But I 110% believe that they were going to put the AEW World Heavyweight Championship on her, and she was literally going to have every friggin' belt in AEW, every women's belt in AEW except for the ROH Women's Championship. I legit thought that they were going to do that. And then I thought, then that one's next. So glad they didn't. I wish that meant that Monet lost the TBS title. I don't think that's what happened. I think it was belt for belt. I thought it was belt for belt. See here, AEW roster. I don't think Statlander now has the see, Monet is still listed as the TBS champion. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's what it should be. I think that should have been belt for belt. Take the damn belt off of Mercedes because she doesn't need it. Yeah, it was just for Stats belt. Which I think is stupid. Because honestly, what more is Mercedes Moné going to do with that belt? She's not, and she's not really elevating it. So what's the point? What are we what are we doing? But yeah, it is what it is. And I'm glad that Chris Statlander did not lose her belt. I'm glad that Mercedes Moné does not have the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And I'm glad that they're continuing to push Chris Statlander the way that she should. Because Chris Statlander is actually very good. I think they definitely need to build some friggin' storyline for her. If it were me, I would have Camille come back because I know Camille is done filming American Gladiators. I'd have Camille come back and murk the crap out of her and then build a storyline between them. And then, then she can have a feud with Megan Bynes, who I think is awesome. But we'll see. There's AEW's women's division is very, very. There's a lot of talent there. But there's outside of Tony Storm, there's not a whole lot of storyline being built there. That's a place where I think it's missed opportunity. And of course, we already talked about it. The AEW World Heavyweight Championship, Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe. Frank picked Hangman Adam Page. I picked Samoa Joe. And like I said, this ended exactly the way I wanted it to. Dude, we ended with a tie this time. We both got one, two. We both got three wrong. We both had Statlander losing to Monet. We both had Brody King and Bandito retaining against FTR, and then we had one each difference. So we both ended with we were 4-3. We both ended 4-3 this time, Frank. But yeah, how would I rank this pay-per-view overall? I think it was good. AEW, one of the things you can always count on is AEW is going to do a good pay-per-view. Their pay-per-views are always good. Was it great? No. And I feel like there were just a few things that were off that could have been improved on. And it was, like I said, it was a good solid show. It was way too damn long. We've talked about this before. My personal feeling on all of the on the amount of time that these pay-per-views take in AEW, it was way too damn long. I did not care about the pre-show whatsoever. And some of these matches, man, just didn't. Looking at this match card, like this $200,000 pre-show match with Bowens and tag team match, that was unimportant. You could put damn near anything else in there. But as far as the actual pay-per-view stuff, as good as it was, and I really did like the Pac versus Darby Allin match, and I'm glad that Pac won. That match doesn't need to be on pay-per-view. You don't need that. You don't need that match on pay-per-view. The $1 million money match, Young Bucks and Josh Alexander versus Jurassic Express and Kenny Omega. You don't need that match either. That's something you could do. You could do that as the main event for a Dynamite, and you can get the same result out of this, and you can get the same result. So 2 matches right there that didn't need to be there. 1 match on the pre-show that didn't need to be there. You could have put like another women's match on there instead, because nothing important happened in the pre-show match. Nothing important happened there. What happened important on the in the tag match with the Bucks and Alexander, Jurassic Express, and Kenny Omega, you can do that on TV. Doesn't need to be on pay-per-view. You're just dragging this thing out, man. Take away all the pre-show crap, and I give it a C+, B- at best. Yeah, I think a B is good. I think a B works. I think a B is about where it's at. They've had much better pay-per-views. I think the Kyle Fletcher Mark Briscoe match, the Statlander Mercedes Money match, and the Hangman Page Samoa Joe match, those were absolutely the best matches on the entire show. 110%. The other match, Bucks and Jurassic Express, Kenny Omega, Joshua, that was a good match. The national championship, Casino Gauntlet, was a good match. The tag team championship, that was a good match. They weren't great though. So yeah, it was an above average pay-per-view, but it was nowhere near what the caliber that we've seen that they're capable of. So, but anyway, that's how we did. We tied, man. We got We got 4 right each, and then we got 3 wrong. So, but yeah, so that's how we did with AEW's Full Gear. So we talked about Survivor Series, and I thought that we would get maybe one more match on this show, which is leading me to believe that the card that we have for Survivor Series is what we're going to get. So you got the Women's World Championship, which is Stephanie McGurk versus Nikki Bella. We talked about that. I think Nikki Bella's. I have a really bad feeling they're going to put the belt on Nikki Bella. I hope they don't. I hope Stephanie McGurk keeps it. Intercontinental Championship, John Cena. John Cena's dropping that belt back to Dominic. I think that's 100%. And then we talked about who we thought was going to win the different Survivor Series matches. So yeah, there's nothing really changed in that. Nothing was really added. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, because I watched Raw. I don't remember them changing anything or anything big that's been added or taken away. So, but it'll be fun. Definitely be watching it, and should be good. But so Big Daddy was talking about this, and I know some other people were talking about this as well. So the PW Insider, the 2005 PW Insider top 500 list. This came out. It's December. For Pro Wrestling Illustrated, it's in December. And they put out their list for the top 500 wrestlers in the world. And I saw this list, and Big Daddy was talking about it, and I agree with him that some of the people on this list, I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know how I feel about that. So some of the people that like Big Daddy, his take on some of these guys, I agree with some of it. I personally feel differently because, everybody's different. Everybody has their own opinion. But I'm going to go over the top, like at least the top 10 of this and ask you guys what you think. So number 1, they put on here. So number 1 was Cody Rhodes. So they're saying that of all the wrestlers that are currently working in the industry, Cody Rhodes is number 1. And I can see that's a pick that I can see. Now, personally, I feel like Roman Reigns is still probably viewed by most people as a little bit above Cody, but Roman is a part-timer, and he's away for long periods of time. So I can see. So that right there, that might be the only person on the top 10 here that I agree with is Cody Rhodes being at number 1. So yeah, I agree with that. So number 2, Jon Moxley. They have Jon Moxley rated as number 2, the number 2 biggest wrestler in the world. And to mind you, this is in WWE, AEW, NXT, New Japan, CMLL, AAA, MLW, TNA, everywhere. They're saying Jon Moxley is the number 2 guy. He was when he was champion, but yeah, I agree. Like I said, I still think as far as the way regular fans are looking at it, I still think that they think Roman is bigger than Cody. I think that that's the way they look at it. I personally don't. I think that that's the one person on the list that I 100% agree with. I think Cody Rhodes is the top guy in the business right now. Jon Moxley. I don't know about Jon Moxley being the number 2 top wrestler in the world. depending on your criteria, maybe. I definitely think he's the ace of AEW, but I don't know that he's the number 2 guy in the entire world. I personally think if we're going with just like the impact that they're having in the wrestling industry in the world, I feel like I think there's an argument to be made that CM Punk would be bigger than Moxley. Think about the impact that Punk has had since he went back to WWE. Okay. Punk has been absolutely massive, and I'm talking about before he won the World Championship recently. But then you also have to take into account John Cena. Did they kind of fumble John Cena's friggin' his farewell tour? Yeah, a little bit. They did. But Cena is still this massive, massive, massive person. So you really kind of have to look. I'm looking at his perspective of who's the biggest person in the business. And again, depending on what your criteria is, like for me, the in-ring product is actually of more importance than just the aura and the impact that you're having on the industry. But even with that being my criteria, I still think Punk is above. I still think Punk and Cena are above Moxley, because you can't deny what they're doing. You can't deny the effect that they're having on the industry. You can't deny it. So I don't agree with number 2. I think number 2 should either be CM Punk or John Cena. I think they're having a bigger impact, at least in 2025. Number 3, Gunther. I personally agree with this. That being said, I agree with Gunther being in the top 10, because I do think that Gunther is going to be a much bigger figure going forward for WWE than he was this year. I think they kind of sacrificed Gunther, a lot of Gunther's impact. I feel like they sacrificed that to Jey Uso, to elevate Jey Uso. So I don't know about being in top 10, but I'm in top 3 like that. But I definitely think top 10, absolutely. So Gunther, I'm 100% behind that. Number 4, Hangman Adam Page. I disagree with this. I do not think Hangman Adam Page is the number 4 biggest wrestler in the world. I think there's at least 3 people that I would put above him, maybe even 4, if you're really breaking it down. I personally believe that Seth Rollins is bigger than Hangman Adam Page. I think Will Ospreay is bigger than Hangman Adam Page, even though I understand Will Ospreay is injured. But just the impact that he had through the year, I personally think that Ospreay is bigger than Hangman Adam Page. I think CM Punk should be in the top 10. No question about it. CM Punk should be in the top 10. He's not. I don't get that. Again, you look at the impact that they've had, and you just look at how over they are. CM Punk should be in the top 10. Someone else that I think should be in the top 10, and I know it's going to be controversial, Dominic Mysterio. I think about how big of an impact Dominic Mysterio has had in WWE and just in the wrestling industry this year. I think Dominic Mysterio should be in the top 10. Now, do I think he's top 10 as far as his work in the ring? No, I don't. But everything else, and all things being equal, I would definitely put him over number 5. Number 5, and interesting, I am a New Japan guy. I love New Japan. They have Hiroki Goto listed as number 5 in the entire world. Okay? Let me make this very clear. Hiroki Goto, through his career, one of the best in-ring workers that's ever worked in New Japan. Hiroki Goto is one of those guys that he's one of those guys you can have a good match with him. He can have a good match with anybody. Okay? He's up there with Tomohiro Ishii. He's a guy that you can literally have a good match. He can pull a good match out of anybody. But top 5? No. Not anymore. Especially not now. At his age. And definitely not top 5 as far as impact in 2025. He just isn't. So I disagree with that. Number 6, Jey Uso. Frank and I have talked about this. I like Jey Uso. I think Jey Uso is one of, as far as him and his brother, were one of the best tag teams of the last 20 years. Jey Uso in singles run, he has literally been reduced to an entrance. And there have been times in the big match where he has slipped up and he just hasn't produced and he hasn't performed. And that's why they took that belt off of Jey Uso. They sacrificed Gunther to Jey Uso. And Jey still wasn't able to pull himself over that final hump. So, good wrestler? Yes. Great tag team wrestler? Yes. Super over entrance? Yes. Top 10 wrestler in the world in 2025? No. I don't think so. I personally don't think so. Number 7, Swerve Strickland. Me personally, I think he belongs in the top 10 as far as the most as far as people that have had the biggest influence in the business. I think he's great in the ring. I think he's got great presence. He is one of those people that I think everyone talks about how Tony Khan fumbled this guy, Tony Khan fumbled that guy. WWE seriously fumbled Swerve Strickland. If WWE were pushing Swerve Strickland the way AEW was, Swerve Strickland would be one of the top 5 guys in WWE. Hands down, bar none, in my personal opinion. But again, that's me. So do I think he belongs on this list? Yes. Does he belong on this list ahead of Seth Rollins and Will Ospreay and CM Punk? I don't know. I don't think so. There's a couple of people on this list that I don't think should be in the top 10. Hiroki Goto, definitely, I don't think should be in the top 10. Jey Uso, I don't think should be in the top 10. I think the 2 other people in the top 10 that should be there that aren't are CM Punk and Dominic Mysterio. I think those 2 guys should be there. Swerve Strickland, I don't know if I'd have him at number 7, but I definitely think he would be in my top 10. Number 8, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins should be higher on this list. Seth Rollins should definitely be above Jey Uso. He should definitely be above Hiroki Goto. He should be above Hangman Page. Seth Rollins, and again, whether you like him or you don't like him, Seth Rollins should be in the top 5. He should be, as far as the impact that he's had this year, he should be in the top 5. He should definitely be above Goto and Jey Uso. Number 9, Mystico. All right, so this is where my ignorance is going to get me a little bit. I know Mystico has been on a freaking tear in in Mexico. I know that he's made some appearances in AEW, so I don't know. I can't accurately gauge him as far as his presence against all the others here. But I will say this: I don't see him being above Will Ospreay. I don't see him being above CM Punk. I don't see him being above Konosuke Takeshita. I don't see him being above Dominic Mysterio. So does he belong in the top 10? I'm going to defer on that one because I can't honestly say because I am ignorant about most. I catch CML in AAA when I can and if I have the ability to. And lately I have not had to be able to do that. So, so obviously leg kick and Maldacito can probably help me with that better than, make that determination better than I can. Number 10, Will Ospreay. Definitely belongs in the top 10. I think he's above Jey Uso and Hiroki Goto. And I personally think that he's above Hangman and Page. I think Will Ospreay should be in the top 5. But top 10, definitely top 10. Just real quick to round out the next top 10. So number 11, they have Kazuchika Okada. I think that's accurate. I don't think Okada has been anywhere near as big in AEW as he was in New Japan. I think they've definitely stepped it up with him this year. First half of the year, it was The second half of the year, definitely, especially putting it in there against Takeshita. So number 11, yeah. Joe Hendry, again, another of those guys that I think is, I don't think he's, should he be top 20? I don't know, but you can't deny that he's had a huge, massive effect. Number 13, Zack Sabre Jr. Now, if this is my personal list, this dude is going to be in the top 10. ZSJ is literally the best technical wrestler in the business today. This dude, I am ride or die with that guy. How old is he now? I wish if he leaves New Japan, New Japan's in serious trouble. So he's 38 years old. This dude deserves a run with either AEW or WWE. So more people know who the hell he is because he's that damn good. Number 14, Obafemi. I know he's a big deal. He's a monster too. He's a big deal in NXT. We'll see how they use him on the main roster. Top 20, I don't know about that. Definitely not above CM Punk, which they got him on here as being above CM Punk. I don't think he should be above Bandito. I think Bandito is, from what little bit I know, Bandito is like he's my favorite Mexican wrestler right now. So, but Omafemi is number 15. 15 is CM Punk. He should be way higher than this. Way higher than that. That's ridiculous. 16, Bandito. Okay. I personally like him better than this, like a lot of these other guys that are above him, but they got him in top 20. Okay. Konosuke Takeshita. Takeshita should be top 15 at least. Dude he's the future. He really is. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. If New Japan does not drop a blank check in front of this dude and make him their new ace, considering all the talent that they've lost over the years and whatnot, and then build that company around him, they're screwing it up. Number 18, Damian Priest. Me personally, no. I think Jacob Fatu is better than he is. I think LA Knight's more over than he is. Braun Breaker should definitely be above Damian Priest. 19, Trick Williams. Trick Williams is one of those guys that's got huge upside, and WWE just seems like they let him elevate, and then they cut his knees off. And I don't know what that's about, but he's number 19, and the number 20 is Jacob Fatu. I love Jacob Fatu. I hope he comes back soon because I think he was on his way to getting a big push, and then things fell apart. He's definitely above Trick Williams and Damian Priest, in my opinion. But there you go. That's the top. So that's the top 20 guys. Some people I agree with, some people I disagree with. And there are some people I think should be on this list that aren't. So it is what it is. But that's their top. That was their the top 20 of their 2025. What do you guys think? Tell me. See here. WWE already has a technical wrestler in Chad Gable, and they haven't done anything with him. I doubt they would use Zack Sabre Jr. any better. Yeah, that's true. Damn. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. They and Chad Gable, and that's another guy that I feel. I don't think Chad Gable needs to do the same thing that Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles did. He needs to leave. He needs to go to New Japan, and turn himself and just reinvent himself and show them what they really have with him. Because that dude could be the next Bryan Danielson, and they are just completely wasting him. So, but anyway, guys, that's the PWI top 20, and yeah, it's an interesting story. So just a little something extra I thought I'd throw in on the end of this, because we were running a little behind it and everything, and it's just an interesting thing, you know. Everybody's got their different opinions. I know Big Daddy had a couple of people on there that he had a different opinion on than I do, and that's what's awesome about wrestling, guys. There's something for everybody. What everybody is looking for, it's not always the same thing, but the one thing we can agree on is that we love this stuff. We love it to death, and that's why we do these shows. But I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you being here. Like I said, appreciate you bearing with me being here by myself, because, like I said, Frank is my boy is burning the midnight oil at the work. Appreciate that though. But appreciate everyone that was here. Leg Kick, Maldacito, Big Daddy, the Guardian of Chaos, guys. Yeah, like he said, drop an elbow on that button. Everybody else that was lurking, and Maldacito, glad you got home safe, brother. And like I said, everybody that was lurking, we appreciate you guys, and we will see you guys next week to discuss the results of Survivor Series War Games. We got to do it. Where's it at? We got to do it.
War Games! Of War Games! War Games! War Games!
War Games! All right, guys. Appreciate you guys. Be safe. Have a great, if you celebrated it, have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.